There's a moment in every person's life when anger rises like a storm inside the chest. The heart races, the blood boils. Words are on the edge of the tongue, ready to strike. And in that moment you have a choice. You can unleash it, or you can control it. But controlling anger is not just about suppressing emotion. It's about mastering yourself. And no one mastered this art better than the Prophet Muhammad. This is not just a lesson in self-control. This is a hidden sunnah that transforms your character, your relationships, and your connection with Allah. So let's step into the life of the Prophet and uncover how he managed anger in ways that will shake you to your core. Imagine this. A man walks into the masjid while the Prophet is sitting with his companions. This man is rough, aggressive, and disrespectful. He grabs the Prophet by his cloak so hard that it leaves a red mark on his blessed neck. Then he demands, "Give me some of the wealth that Allah has given you." The companions are stunned. Their hands move toward their swords. But the Prophet does something unimaginable. He smiles. He looks at the man with calm eyes and says, "Give him what he asks for." This is narrated in Sahih Bukhari. The man got what he wanted, but what he didn't realize was that he had just witnessed the greatest display of emotional control in human history. The Prophet had every reason to be angry. He had the power, the authority, and the support to respond. But he chose mercy. He chose patience, because anger was never his master. Now, you might be wondering, was the Prophet never angry? Did he never feel what we feel? The answer is yes, he felt it. But he controlled it with a wisdom that came directly from Allah. There's a powerful hadith in Sahih Bukhari where a man came to the Prophet and asked, "O Messenger of Allah, give me advice." The Prophet said, "Do not get angry." The man asked again. The Prophet repeated, "Do not get angry." The man asked a third time, and again, the Prophet said, "Do not get angry." This wasn't just advice. This was a spiritual prescription, because anger, when left unchecked, destroys everything. It destroys your peace. It destroys your relationships. It destroys your connection with Allah. And the Prophet knew this better than anyone. But let's go deeper. Why did the Prophet emphasize this so much? Because anger is the weapon of shaitan. In another authentic hadith in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet said, "Anger comes from shaitan, and shaitan was created from fire, and fire is extinguished only by water. So when one of you becomes angry, let him perform wudu." Think about that. The physical act of washing your face, your hands, your feet, it's not just about cleanliness, it's about resetting your soul. It's about breaking the grip that shaitan has on your heart in that moment. The Prophet gave us a solution that is both spiritual and practical, because Islam is not just about theory, it's about real-world application. Let me take you to another scene. The Prophet is standing. A companion sees him and notices his face is slightly red. Someone had done something that hurt him. The companion expects the Prophet to speak harshly, to respond with force, but instead the Prophet sits down. Then he lies down. And just like that, the anger leaves him. This is narrated in Sunan Abu Dawud, and it's classified as Sahih. The Prophet taught us that when anger rises, change your physical position. If you're standing, sit. If you're sitting, lie down. Why? Because anger thrives on elevation. It thrives on dominance. But when you lower yourself physically, you lower the anger spiritually. This is emotional intelligence at its peak. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful: the strength of restraint. In our world today, people think strength is about how loud you can shout, how hard you can hit back, how much dominance you can show. But the Prophet redefined strength entirely. In Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, he said, "The strong person is not the one who can overpower others. The strong person is the one who controls himself when he is angry." Let that sink in. Real strength is internal. It's the ability to hold back when every cell in your body is telling you to explode. It's the ability to choose silence over destruction. And that's what the Prophet embodied every single day of his life. There's a story that will break your heart and rebuild it at the same time. After the conquest of Makkah, the Prophet stood in front of the very people who had tortured him, exiled him, killed his companions, and spread lies about him for years. They were now at his mercy. He had every right to seek revenge. The companions were ready. The city was his. But the Prophet looked at them and said, "Go, you are free." He forgave them all. This is documented in the books of Sirah. Can you imagine the level of emotional control that required? That wasn't weakness, that was power. That was a man who had conquered his own ego before he conquered a city. And that's the essence of this hidden Sunnah. It's not about suppressing anger, it's about transforming it into mercy, patience, and wisdom. Allah speaks about this directly in the Quran. In Surah Ash-Shura, verse 37, He describes the believers as those who avoid major sins and immoralities, and when they are angry, they forgive. And in Surah Al-Imran, verse 134, Allah praises those who spend in ease and hardship, and who restrain anger and pardon the people. And Allah loves the doers of good. Notice the connection. Restraining anger is not just good character. It's a path to earning the love of Allah. And that's what the Prophet was teaching us. Every time you hold back your anger, you're not just controlling your emotions, you're worshiping Allah with your self-restraint. But here's the reality. Controlling anger is one of the hardest battles you will ever fight, because it's not an external enemy, it's internal. It's your ego, it's your pride, it's your sense of being wronged. And the Prophet gave us multiple strategies to win this battle. He taught us to seek refuge in Allah. In a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, 2 men were arguing in front of the Prophet, and one of them became so angry that his face turned red. The Prophet said, "I know a word that if he says it, his anger will leave him. If he says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan ir-rajim, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan, his anger will go away." This is not just a phrase, it's a spiritual weapon. It's a reminder that the battle is not with the person in front of you. The battle is with shaitan, who wants to see you lose control. The Prophet also taught us the power of silence. In Sahih Muslim, he said, "If one of you becomes angry while standing, let him sit down. If the anger leaves him, well and good. Otherwise, let him lie down." And in another narration, he advised to remain silent when angry, because words spoken in anger are like arrows. Once they leave your tongue, you can never take them back. They pierce hearts, they destroy trust, they break relationships. And the Prophet knew this, so he trained himself and his companions to guard the tongue, especially in moments of rage. Now, let's bring this into your life. How many times have you regretted something you said in anger? How many relationships have you damaged because you couldn't control yourself for just a few seconds? The Prophet is showing you the way out. He's showing you that emotional control is not about being weak. It's about being strong enough to protect what matters: your family, your friendships, your faith, your peace of mind, and most importantly, your relationship with Allah. Because every time you control your anger for the sake of Allah, you're building a palace in Jannah. You're earning rewards that will last forever. The Prophet lived this sunnah in the most difficult moments. When his own uncle Abu Lahab cursed him, he remained patient. When the people of Taif threw stones at him until his shoes filled with blood, he made dua for them instead of against them. When his enemies mocked him, he responded with wisdom and compassion. This wasn't because he didn't feel the pain. It was because he had trained his soul to rise above it. And that's the hidden sunnah. It's the internal jihad, the struggle against your own nafs, your own desires, your own impulses. And it's a struggle that every Muslim must engage in if they want to follow the footsteps of the Prophet. So here's what you need to do starting today. When anger rises, remember the face of the Prophet. Remember his patience. Remember his smile in the face of aggression. Remember his forgiveness when he had the power to punish. And then ask yourself, what would he do in this moment? The answer will always guide you toward mercy, toward restraint, toward becoming a better version of yourself. Make wudu when you're angry. Sit down if you're standing. Stay silent if words are rushing to your tongue. Seek refuge in Allah. And most importantly, know that controlling your anger is not just good for this world. It's an investment in the hereafter. Because on the day of judgment, when people will be desperate for even one good deed, you'll have mountains of rewards waiting for you, all because you chose to control yourself when it was hardest. This is the hidden sunnah of emotional control. It's not hidden because it's secret. It's hidden because we've forgotten to practice it. But today you've been reminded. Today you've been given the tools. Now it's your turn to live it, to embody it, to become someone who walks in the footsteps of the greatest man to ever live, the Prophet Muhammad. May Allah grant us the strength to control our anger, the wisdom to choose mercy over revenge, and the patience to follow the Sunnah in every moment of our lives.